we're able to send money, but we're not able to receive anything.
You do split testing, but somehow mobile comes to A, desktop comes to B.
Price it between $150 to $200 for a basic consultation with the developer.
When you do a lot of things, we put seeds. Seeds grow after 2-3 years.
Yes. We turned all of our internet packages unlimited.
Hi, Iya.
Hi.
Couldn't you represent yourself and the company?
I have been working in marketing for almost 3 years now, and this company is about to turn 20 this February. And we are the only local internet company here.
Okay, and couldn't you explain the name of the company because they have nice history?
We go by ROL, which stands for Raajjé Online. Raajjé Online means, Raajjé is a word that we use to describe the Maldives, but it is derived from our language Dhivehi. So it literally means Raajjé Online, Maldives Online. So that's how we came up with the name.
And as I know, Maldives is about 500,000 of people.
Yes.
And also the same amount of tourists should be, no?
I think it's a lot more. We celebrated, I think we celebrate every million that comes here.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, so it's way more than our population actually.
And by the way, when I study a little bit just in Google internet penetration, it's about 65% or 70% in Maldives.
Yes.
So you have like 140 islands or something like. You have many islands, and by the way, many islands are covered with internet.
Yes.
So
most of the islands are covered. Yeah.
Because if I compare you like to Comoros or to Mauritius, similar maybe size, they were small island, and in one island internet. And Maldives is very complicated to cover with internet, but still people use phones like.
Yes, we
everywhere.
have those cell towers set up, so we have hotspot, mobile data, everything like that. So everybody has internet. I think very few people will not have it anymore actually. So I know it's geographically located in a way that it makes it difficult for us to put a cable everywhere, but we manage.
And it's very rare. You're just in a small island, and you still have. You can still use internet. Okay, and if we just compare also to Malta, Malta is also very small, but Malta have announced that casino is very friendly for casino, and lots of data centers start appearing, and also good for crypto. Mauritius, for example, very expensive traffic, or for example, Seychelles, extremely expensive. Okay. So maybe like 20 times more expensive than you. So, and here it's not friendly for cables, like more than 100.
It's not.
Yeah, and still here internet is, I think, quite cheap, and
it is actually quite cheap, and I would say the speed and everything is very good compared to most of the other countries.
But local people only English, yeah?
Local people tend to speak in the native tongue, which is Dhivehi.
But it's very rare, and
it is quite rare. We usually don't get any other language.
So between you can speak this language, but
in the business area we tend to speak in English because that is easier. Because it's not just natives here. We are usually dealing with a lot of other countries, so we tend to speak in a language that everybody can understand.
Yeah, and also about domain names. The most popular domain here is
MV, yes.
MV, yeah. So people don't like .coms, and
I feel like people go with MV to reassure everybody that this is local. I would say that people really don't have the mindset to go international because we have a lot of restrictions like not receiving money from PayPal. We're able to send money, but we're not able to receive anything.
Hi, by the way, so the main payment gateways here is
BML.
Bank of Maldives.
Yes.
And so people can pay everywhere, but you're unable to get money to your bank account.
Yes. We can do some international transfers through BML, but that's quite pricey. So if I were to send some dollars or euros to my friend who is studying abroad or maybe staying somewhere else, it would cost us a lot more than we would be actually sending them. So if we're trying to send our friend, let's say 250 euros, maybe they'll end up receiving 20. So which is like a lot, right, in terms of fees and everything.
it's very interesting how they charge. So everybody can pay everywhere, but you're unable to collect. So it's like very regular system. And what about domain price? Maybe you remember how much it costs? Just about.
Domain prices here usually cost about 54 rupiah per month. That is .mv, which I would say is like $2.5 per month.
Okay, so it's very often to sell monthly, yeah?
Yes.
And I also see that hosting is not so popular in Maldives.
Yes, it's not. People tend to usually host from other servers, like not locally. Very few people host here locally.
And I think just because, by the way, what is good here, you have local data centers.
Yes.
For example, in Seychelles, they're very expensive. In Mauritius, they're very expensive. And everybody like who would like to buy hosting, for example, put his physical server, they do it usually outside country, because inside country is very expensive. And here still some people put it in a local data center. So you like at least you have good potential here.
I feel like if people were to learn more about the benefits of hosting locally, they would tend to go with it more. I just feel like a lot of people are not aware that we provide this service or that it's available here. So I really wish people would learn more.
And about website builder, what do you think is like a future, or already some people doing websites themselves?
It is actually very expensive here to build a website from scratch. It would cost you about, I would price it between $150 to $200 for a basic consultation with a developer.
A consultation?
So, yeah.
Okay.
So it's very, very pricey. Very few people know how to do it. So something like Site.pro would be really, really good actually, because a lot of local entrepreneurs are really struggling because their country, they get their product out there if they don't have a website, right? They're just doing it on Facebook, Instagram, and that's it. I feel like the reach would be very low if it's just on those two platforms.
Yeah. Do you feel like global brands like GoDaddy or Wix coming here, or it's still like not very noisy, so you don't see their ads, and usually people do not know them?
It's not noisy at all. You can only know that they exist if you look it up on purpose. So they are not very well aware.
And what would you prefer, cloud or on premises? For example, when your products located somewhere in cloud, or it's physically here in the island installed in your server?
I would say, maybe I'm biased.
Just opinion, yeah. It's everybody's opinion.
Okay, I would say here, not on cloud. Keeping them here, yeah.
Okay, and also for me, just it's I don't know, very, very unusual. For example, Seychelles, 50 gigs of internet cost 250 euros. It's the same just in Sri Lanka, 2 hours away, cost maybe 3-4 euros. Here also
that's a drastic price difference, right?
Here is also like I don't know, $15-20, like something around. So it's your island and Seychelles are island, so it's very something very unusual.
Yes, I feel like it's the geographical placement and everything. Maybe, I don't know, could be something to do with the pricing, right?
And maybe can you share your most successful campaign? From your old experience, and maybe that you did and it works very well. So some people online can also maybe learn from you. Maybe you did some campaign, for example, I don't know, you called physically customers and they were satisfied, or...
You mean it doesn't have to be from here, right?
It could be not from here, but if it's from here, it's also nice.
From here, my best experience would be the customer's reaction to us. We turned all of our internet packages unlimited, as in there is no fair usage allowance, nothing. You can use unlimited internet.
Yes.
But what varies with every package is our speed. So we start with 5 Mbps and we have up to 200 Mbps. 200 Mbps is very good, and there's no other provider here that would provide an unlimited package for that speed. So that is a first. That has been a very great accomplishment so far.
So people love it.
Yes, people love it.
What we now do, earlier we do development like this. We just have an idea and develop it. Now we changed our way how we develop.
Okay.
So we have an idea, we create like a small prototype. It's not something works, but we just have a growth like several pictures.
Okay.
And we test with these pictures with our because we have several companies, so we test from other people from other company, and they it's not understandable, and we just show them several variations until we understood that it works, and only that we start programming.
Okay.
And this removes sometimes 70 or 80% of things that doesn't work.
That's a very good success rate, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe you can share something that didn't work. For example, you did something, you put a lot of efforts and doesn't work.
We have had some limitations when it comes to us implementing what we want to do, like lack of finance, lack of support, things like that. But overall, I wouldn't say anything that bad has happened here.
And by the way, we did tests with like A/B testings when we show like one version to one audience, another version to other audience.
Okay.
And by the way, it's most correct method because it's provide really statistically significant result. But what is problem? Sometimes you also have desktop and mobile, and some of them came to A, some of them came to B.
Okay.
And also desktop and mobile also have their own conversions. And I understood that when we do like testing like this, also we need to care about these different platforms and also maybe get a bigger audience. Because let's say you do split testing, but somehow mobile comes to A, desktop comes to B, and you get B is better, but still it's the. And also we learn a little bit. We collect email from the first page. For example, when you come to the website, you can not need to register. Just put your email.
It's very convenient, right?
Yeah, and we test like let's say in Russia, and we have like I don't remember, maybe plus 70% of registration. So it's really significant number, and it works very well. And we would like to expand this hypothesis to all the world, because if it provides more registrations. And the idea just in the world, the conversion was worse. It means in some countries they really announce it, they don't like to register. So when we test a lot, it like some way it works, some way it doesn't. And also with pricing, for example, when we do test with pricing, sometimes we just reduce the price and we see more registrations. We reduce price more, and registration stopped. So for some markets, small price can never push customers away.
So I have a question for
you.
You've been traveling almost everywhere, right?
Yeah, yes.
And you've been putting in a lot of work, time, effort, energy into doing the market research. So how has your experience been so far?
Experience in what, converting customers or?
Yes, in general, making people aware about Site.pro and everything. How has your experience been?
Yeah, so technically the conversion is very low, but what I see that, for example, I talk to Mozambique. In Mozambique, maybe I talk to 8 companies, and because in Mozambique, I remember Portuguese, and it's very complicated to talk. But when you leave country, for example, you talk to 8 people, 3 was extremely interested. For example, I was in Angola, talked to Angola Telecom. There was like Aishath burning, and then 3-6 months no replies. But then some magic happens after several years. So you talk, they forget, but still it's happening. I was also like in India maybe 4 years ago, and I came to India. We have maybe 5 customers in India, and some people found us like, wow, Site.pro, we just meet the existing customer. Wow, you are alive, you don't exist. And after a few years, and you talk to Indians like to talk. And you maybe talk to 30, 40, people in a day, so it's really in the conference. And you just afraid that everybody is friendly. But in Indian culture, they are friendly. Like they talk to foreigners, they like to do it. And then they do not reply emails. You write like 40 emails to 40 people, they do not reply. Oh my God. But after 1 year, 2 years, you see India is the top market, top 5. Because they do not reply, but they test you and they purchase. And something, and also doing like that, if I like traveling, So I now have, I don't know, 120 countries. I don't remember
so
how
much. Yeah.
Yeah. Like last year, it's a little bit Spain, a little bit Turkey, but mostly Lebanon, Jordan, Mozambique, Angola, a little bit Namibia, Botswana, South Africa, Lesotho, Swaziland, Mauritius, Comoros, Madagascar, Ethiopia, Seychelles, Sri Lanka. Yeah, maybe I forgot something, but Namibia. It's all only last year.
How is it like seeing all these different people, different cultures?
It's very interesting. So it's very interesting. And of course, I love traveling. So no other people will can do this because it's really not easy. You know, in Angola we go to I technically came to the country illegally. They didn't put visa in my passport.
Yeah.
I pay money, but they don't put the visa. So I have problems quitting the country. So there are lots of issues like that.
Yeah.
Or for example, like we cross, like when I was like in Botswana, my old dream was to cross the desert. And the desert, it's like 14 hours driving or something like that. But the problem, you need to have enough fuel. And I got a new Jeep, and it was like 150 liters of diesel. So it's really very rare when people can cross it because it's really require good equipment. So last time I was able to do it, so now I did it, and like, whew, I'm lucky, in one day like 14 or 16 hours driving on the sand, and it just But yeah, and of course when you do a lot of things, we put seeds. Seeds grow after 2-3 years, so sometimes faster. And the idea just in America it's very complicated because in America you are unable to meet people. Everybody very busy.
Yeah.
You can meet them online, of course we do many online meetings, but the distance is huge. And in America I was in all 50 states, by the way, so I visit all states. And we will talk about conversions. From conversion side, okay, physical meetings are very nice but very expensive.
Yeah.
But if you see just, I don't know, 100 countries that I visited, and you put some seeds, still some people later communicate better. They meet you on conferences and they just convert, and I see if my competitors would be there, better I would be there. So
the seeds end up bearing fruit, right?
Yeah. So it's investments. Of course, it's investments. And we try to provide standard.
Yeah.
As Pepsi came to India when no Coca here, so India was now Pepsi is very successful in Sri Lanka and many countries. Coca-Cola just late. So we also put some seeds like with you. We go work in 2 years. Big players comes here and they see that you are strong.
Yes.
So it's like putting seeds for the future. Thank you for your time. And if you come to Maldives is nice country. Surfing, swimming, snorkeling.
It's gorgeous. Have you been diving yet?
Yeah.
How was your experience?
What I was really shocked. I buy a tour swimming with dolphins. I come to like real ocean and 100 dolphins around, and you swim to them. It's like crazy. Then you go to this gray spark, I forgot the fish name.
Rays? Manta rays?
With a long tail.
Stingrays, right?
Stingrays, yeah. So you just stay there, coming around, you can ever touch them, wow. And then swimming with sharks. So you swim and sharks are swimming around you.
I cannot do that, I'm terrified of
Yeah, and also you get a lunch and also something more, and it costs $50. For me it's like it was like free, because everybody afraid of Maldives that everything is extremely huge price, but
it's actually not surprising.
It's only in resorts, but regular life it's very, very. I think it's ever cheaper than in Europe. Very friendly, of course. I didn't try surf because no waves. I didn't try lots of things, but I should come here again because we have lots of water sports. And lots of Maldives, of course,
There's
it's paradise.
There's a lot for you to explore if you want to.
Yeah, it's real paradise. So you're living in one of the world best places.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Filip.